Asalamu'alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. I pray that you are all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I am a Muslimah life coach and I support Muslim women with relationship and mental health issues. So if you're interested in being coached in those areas, you can find me over on my website, which I will leave linked in the description box down below. But over here on YouTube, I make Islamic lifestyle as well as dawah content. So if you're interested in that, then definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. So in today's video, we are talking about the 8 signs of femininity, and I could not wait to make this video because I think this is the type of things that us women need to hear so we can work more on it. Before I begin to talk about that, I want to mention that it is actually normal for women to have both feminine and masculine traits. It is normal, yes. A woman doesn't only have to possess of feminine traits. She can also at times possess masculine traits and demonstrate masculine traits to achieve a certain goal. And I say that because I think in this femininity and masculinity argument that a lot of people put on the table, we often forget that there are times in life where you have to use your masculine qualities to get somewhere. Okay. It's just that as women who want to either be homemakers, or maybe we don't want to be homemakers, but we want to be addressed and treated in a or benefit from our feminine traits, then we need to display more, show more, and possess more of the feminine characteristics and traits. Okay, and so that's why we're talking about feminine traits, is to help you build more of that if that is what you choose. And so the first thing that I would like to mention about being a feminine woman, her characteristic is that she is nurturing. Feminine women are very, very nurturing. They like caring for not only people but also things. Okay, sometimes it could be as small as like flower arranging. That's something that you think, oh wow, yeah, that is very feminine. Yes, because you're caring for the flowers, growing things, whether it's plants, whether you're growing some flowers in your garden. It's a very feminine thing to have because it all leads to caring. Of course, also caring for people is a feminine quality because it's a quality that is mostly seen in women because we are the carriers of human life. Right? And so we have to have that innate in us in order for us to be able to look after our babies so they can stand a good chance of survival. And so that should come naturally to most women. Not that every woman would want to have children, but even if she doesn't want to have children, there is always some way in which she is super, super caring. She loves other people. She loves helping. She loves getting people out of situations, and that can be a downside and a positive side as well. But it all comes down to that need to nurture something. The next feminine quality is having a kind nature. This again links in with the nurturing that I spoke about earlier. It's very difficult to find that a woman who isn't kind would be classed as a very feminine woman. Is very, very difficult because being kind is to do with your heart. It means that your heart is attached to things. And your heart is easily attached to things, and you empathize and you sympathize a little bit more, and that is more so a feminine quality because that is what a lot of women are like. They care about things, sometimes a little bit too much, but we do care, and they go out of their ways to do things that is helpful to others. And so that does suggest that you are a feminine woman if you're a woman who has a kind heart. Having said that, I will say that having a kind heart does not mean that you should make yourself a fool for others. And I know having boundaries is something a lot of women struggle with because actually being kind, a lot of women are told to do this a lot, but we aren't taught as women how to actually have boundaries. But it can be kind also to have boundaries because she is kind to herself when she has boundaries. She is kind to herself. A lot of the time us women are taught as women to just be kind, and people are usually talking about being kind to others, and then we forget that actually being kind starts with being kind to me first, and then I can radiate that kindness outwardly. right? And so kind women have boundaries as well, because that means that they can protect themselves and they can be in the best states before then they are able to go out there and do that which is helpful to others and show kindness in that way. So yes, being kind is a very, very feminine quality, especially when you are kind to yourself. The next feminine quality is cooperativeness. And this one is super, super important. Cooperativeness in women is a very, very important quality, because it means that in the society, if she gets along with most of the people in her community, then there's a higher chance, speaking quite scientifically now, then there is a higher chance of her survival, her offspring's survival. She will be viewed in a positive light if she gets along with everyone else in the community. And so the other quality of being agreeable comes into play as well. And that is another quality that is also feminine. Women display a lot, is that they display a lot of agreeableness. But I will caution you on that and say there can be, that there's a time when too much is too much, okay, when it comes to being agreeable. You can't always be agreeable to everything, including the things that is destroying all of your family. But I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so I'm just going to go ahead and nod and agree, even though in my heart I really don't agree. Actually, that shows a sign of weakness, because women who are confident in their femininity are able to kindly agree to disagree. They're able to stand their ground. They're able to put boundaries once more into place, but do it in a very kind way, in a way that isn't, you overpowering other people or dismissing other people's feelings. They are able to understand that other people can have their say, their views, their feelings, and they also have the right to have theirs, and it doesn't make them any less of a woman, any less feminine, okay? But yes, cooperativeness is usually something that a lot of feminine women have. They are able to cooperate with other people. Sometimes being cooperative means going along with what the majority of the group decides, even if it's not what you want, because it's for the greater good of the whole group. So kind of looking at everything as like a community rather than just me, myself, and I. And interestingly, it just came to my mind that a lot of toxic men will say, well, a feminine woman is very cooperative, and so therefore if I tell her to do something, she just has to agree with me and she has to do what I say, because that's what makes her feminine. And that actually is quite toxic, because you as a man, you're not right all of the time. And if you understand and respect her as a human being, you value her contributions, then you will know that there are times when you need to take her plan and you need to take what she says and put that into actions, because actually it's better than the plan that you have. But what sometimes happens is that when women give an opposing view, a lot of men these days seem to think that isn't feminine. A lot of men think you're challenging me. Their ego grows to the size of a mountain, and they want to, overcharge with aggressiveness and whatnot in order to get the woman to calm back down again. And actually what you're doing there is making a woman's self-esteem low rather than actually helping her to live in her feminine. It is very feminine for a woman to tell you that actually I disagree and I kindly disagree. Let's agree to disagree. It's okay. It's okay. She doesn't always have to go with what you say in order for her to be feminine. But it's just that a lot of the time, for the greater good of the community at large, sometimes she will be very agreeable in that instance. The next one follows through nicely, and that is being unaggressive, okay? Feminine women are unaggressive. Again, they can be assertive, and assertiveness is different to aggression. It's almost like being able to confidently stand up for what you believe in, but it isn't being aggressive, okay? Feminine women don't tend to be aggressive women. They tend to be women who have boundaries, women who are very soft, women who are very nurturing in multiple different ways, women who can be cooperative when it's best to be cooperative, but they are unaggressive. Even when they have opposing views, you're never going to see them screaming and shouting and cursing each other out on the street. It's unlikely you're ever going to see them in any fight, any physical fight with anybody. They're just not aggressive in their nature, and you can sense that sense of peace within them when you are around them. It's kind of like an aura that they carry, and so you know that, yeah, she's just not the aggressive type. Mind you, though, you know that if you overstep your boundaries, she will put her boundaries into place, but she's just not the aggressive type. Think about it from like a, again, scientific point of view. Women aren't really the ones that are supposed to go and hunt and fight and do all the physical aggressive behaviors in order to protect the family. That's usually the job of the man. And so it's not seen as a feminine trait to be very aggressive. So if you as a woman are trying to work on your femininity, but you realize you have a lot of anger issues, that usually come out in ways of you being really aggressive, you being physically abusive, that's really stuff that you want to work on, because, you know, a lot of the time it's not a good way to get what you want from people. That's just it. I think if there is one thing a lot of us women have to work on, that will be having boundaries. Okay, and having boundaries is a respectful way to get people to respect you without you having to go down the line of beating anyone up, okay, or having to call anyone out their names. So feminine women are not generally aggressive. Feminine women are also very good listeners, which is quite an interesting characteristic to have, because most women like to talk. But again, it goes with this kind of soft aura and nature that they have about them, that they and this calm nature about them that they have, that they can sit there and they can listen. They can just listen. They can listen to what you're saying, and they are actually hearing you. They don't always have to be on the same level with you in terms of what they're saying, but even if they disagree, there's a way in which that they are able to disagree that you just don't feel attacked. And so yes, a lot of feminine women are able to just listen without the constant battle, because again, they are not aggressive. And so you can see how all of these character traits kind of just marry into each other. And so if you want to practice being a more feminine woman and you're wondering, what can I actually do apart from like walking around and like wearing pink all day and high heels and all the physical things that people think about, what can I actually do in terms of how I carry myself that will make me come across as a feminine woman? These are the traits that you need to be working on, okay? So yes, being a good listener is a very, very important feminine quality that will just make you stand out as a feminine woman, if that's what you wish. Last but most certainly not least, it's quite I don't want to say a tradition, but it kind of is. Most places around the world, feminine women just have a certain way that they dress, okay? Their dress is in line with their personality, their behavior, their softness. So feminine women, you find a lot of the time are dressed in more classic styles when it comes to clothing. They wear what is known in that particular culture to be the more traditional way of dressing. They're quite modest in their dressing, feminine women are, and even when they are not as modestly dressed, they are quite stylish in the way that they dress. Yes, that's a very feminine quality, because I actually believe that we women have this innate nature about us to want to beautify ourselves, and it comes naturally. For some people, it comes more seriously naturally than for others. You know, some women care more about it than other women do. But I think a lot of the time, a lot of the feminine women, they dress in a way that shows that they actually care about their physical attributes. They care about how they present. They care about, you know, the way that they look, and so they work more on their looks. And so you may find as a feminine woman that you do take care of your skin. You love to do skincare. Some feminine women love to do makeup, and there's a right place and time for that when it comes to us as Muslims. Some feminine women love wearing tight clothing that shows their curves. Again, for us Muslim women, there's a time and a place for that. You can enjoy all of these feminine things. There's just the right place and time for it for us as Muslim women. and for us as women who are modest dressers. But either way, you find that feminine women, they do care about the way that they present. It's not something that they just kind of throw on the back burner. It does matter, but again, other qualities matter as well, and sometimes even more. All right, guys, those are the 8 signs of a feminine woman. And so if you're looking to become less masculine, to behave in a less masculine way, in a more feminine way as a woman, then of course these are some of the things that you can begin to work on. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Do you think that there are any more feminine qualities that I haven't mentioned in this video? If there are, please, I would love to read your comments in the comment section down below. So leave it in there for us to have a read and everyone to look at, because I'm pretty sure there are some more that I haven't mentioned already. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with any other feminine woman out there, or a woman on her femininity journey. And yeah, inshallah, I hope we all benefit from it. All right, I will see you guys in my next video. If you haven't seen this video that I made about the case of the halal side chick, definitely make sure you check out that video. It's quite an interesting one. It's actually to do with polygamy. Watch that video. I'll see you there.